Welcome everybody, I'm RJ of the Nerdy Brew, and here on this channel we talk TV, movies, and everything in between, all while drinking a cup of coffee. Now if you like one of those things or all of those things, why don't you consider like, subscribing, and hit that notification bell, and becoming a fellow Brewster. So today, fellow Brewsters, this is a coffee talk, a conversation that I wanted to have quickly that was on my mind. First of all, this is a video to go out to one of my companions inside of the metaverse of Gab T'Challa of the Sports Dungeon, Paradigm Shift TV, and the whole fucking show YouTube channel. So I'm gonna leave a link to their channels down in the description below. So go check them out, give them a follow and subscribe if you happen to see this video. We're all collectively trying to grow to our best selves inside the YouTube space. So if you could, subscribe to me, subscribe to them, it is all appreciated. But nah, this is definitely a conversation that is been on my mind for quite some time about Errol Spence Jr. So for those who don't know, I am a big boxing fan. I am immersed inside of the sport of boxing. I'm not just a casual viewer. I watch it, I watch it, I pay attention to things, and I just wanted to get my thoughts out as an impromptu video of talking about Errol Spence and what's going on with this fight. For those who don't know, he's fighting Terrence Crawford, who is, and the thing about this particular fight is a pound for pound fight for undisputed and for titles. This is a mega fight within the boxing community, but it's just a mega fight. It's the best fight and the best kings within the division that is just coming to a head at this particular time. And everybody who's in the boxing community, fans, commentators, athletes, all have been, campaigning for this fight for the last 5 years, knowing that these two men within their divisions have been powerhouses within the sport. And my thing is this, for me right now, personally, for those who don't know, Terrence Crawford is my favorite fighter of the current age right now. Terrence Crawford and Alexander Usyk are my favorite fighters, right? And I've been following Alexander when he was cruiserweight before he got into heavy, and I knew that he would be where he's at now. The thing about Bud, Terrence Crawford, Bud is his boxing, nickname. The thing about Bud, to me, he's been the perfect fighter. Him, Shakur Stevenson, and Alexander Usyk have been perfect fighters. The thing about this, and it makes it really hard to compare and contrast, and this is the point that I'm trying to make about getting to Earl. Now, the thing about Terrence Crawford, he's been Boxing of the Year, or Boxer of the Year twice. He has also, he's gotten these belts, been undisputed, and boxing prowess is unmatched, right? And he is the high favorite for everyone in this fight. Anybody who's paying attention to boxing understands that he is the favorite. Now, with him being the favorite, it kind of goes into certain things, such as his boxing IQ, his boxing versatility, and just his boxing prowess is overall. And the old guard regards him as the reincarnation of Parnell Whitaker, who's also a phenom, who's also just a beast when it comes to certain attributes aside of boxing for boxers to apply of the sweet science of hit and not get hit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just definitely moving out the way. Now, these men of Errol Spence Jr. and also Terrence Crawford has fought high-ranking boxers, right? So every fighter that Bud has went against, he's always decimated, destroyed every fighter. There was one fight that Bud went through where he he always takes his time the first 2 rounds, and then when he gets his footing and able to understand his fighter, he breaks him down systematically, right? So we got that. So my thing is this, right? When they both fought Kell Brook. And with them fighting Kell Brook, it goes to show you that I watched both of those fights. And when it was time for Errol Spence to fight Kell Brook, it was a fight of a test. It was a fight of a test. Is this man the truth as he says, right? Because everybody at that time was, well, Kell Brook was undefeated and he was a world champion. So everybody was like, yo, is he the man that he says that we are seeing? But he at first, at the beginning of the fight, he worked Kell Brook, and when he worked Kell Brook, actually it was blow for blow, pretty even. But when it came to the end of the fight, it ended up being a total one-side fight for him to win those belts, for Errol Spence to win those belts. When Bud fought Brook, it was another one-sided fight. It was one-sided to me entirely through the fight. When Bud was going to fight Amir Khan, and I thought Amir Khan was going to be Bud's test. I thought Amir Khan, because I felt like Amir Khan was one of the nicest boxers that were coming from the other side of the pond, right? But Amir Khan looked just as inexperienced, and there was a lot of controversy over him losing that fight. Either he gave up or he didn't.
I'd rather get knocked out, and in fights, I have been knocked out because I've tried to win fights.
You didn't quit? Tell the truth.
Nah, I didn't quit. Bro.
So what happened?
Quit. I'm telling you, I never quit.
What happened?
I mean, I think I was hit with a low shot.
I'm asking you what happened.
I was hit with a low shot, man. I was hit with a very low shot.
In your leg? You quit with a shot in your leg?
In the leg, it was in the balls. I mean, look, I've not seen the video or the clip of it, but it was a logo. I mean,
it was low. It was low. You know what I mean? It probably was low. You know.
I mean, look. Okay, look.
All right, but calm down.
But then it comes to Shawn Porter, right, Gab? I'm about to tell you, Gab, about Shawn Porter. Now, to me, those are 2 different fights, and this is what makes Errol Spence somebody kind of special. But the thing about this, when it comes to them fighting Shawn Porter, there were 2 different fights that happened. And the thing is, when I saw the fight of Errol fighting Shawn Porter, I saw a pretty evenly matched fight. I saw the work that Shawn Porter was giving him, including with the scorecards. It seemed pretty even until he got knocked down that one time, right? And then by the end, because Shawn Porter was giving him a lot of work to get him frustrated, but this what goes into the art of Errol Spence. Errol Spence adaptability, bar none, is the best in boxing. When it comes to his adaptability when it comes to adversity, he always overcomes. That's what's gonna make Errol so special when fighting Terrence Crawford. Cause his last 4 fights, and the thing is, we got Mikey Garcia as well when it comes to Mikey Garcia, but I love that fight, by the way. And with the thing is, Mikey Garcia didn't fold, he didn't get knocked down, he took his L's, but he stayed in the fight the entire fight. And you know, Earl he looked better, but we gotta, Mikey was 39-0 at the time. Mikey came up to weight. Mikey came up to that weight, so we can't disregard his boxing aptitude, you know what I mean? So he came into that. But those other fights that he had, Danny Garcia, he looked great, and I always knew that Errol Spence was going to be the favorite in that fight. But these are things that we gotta contend with coming into the fight with Terrence Crawford. And the thing is, as I said, those last 4 fights, he fought other A-list boxers, and he came out on the other side of fighting those A-list boxers. And with him fighting those A-list boxers, they gave him difficulty. And because they gave him that difficulty, as I said, his adaptability to the adversity allowed him to come through on the other side. And so with him coming through on the other side, it just shows how great he is. So with that being said, we also have, he had an interview with his girlfriend, and it was like an hour-long interview. And within this interview, he was very vulnerable within that interview. I spoke about my own vulnerabilities here, about my mental health, but and how that looks with black men in the community. He gave his look on his current state.
Embarrassing more than anything. Like saying it was 43 years ago, man. You should be good. Like you should be fighting every 4 or 5 months, but they don't realize, the toll on the body from not only hard work but training camps and things like that, mentally and physically, especially the toll going all the way down to 147 pounds. That does on my body, mentally too, and physically. So, like I said before, I used to dread training camps and dread get ready for a fight.
So he had a very horrible car accident where it looked like it was career damaging, and thank God that man made it pass through the other side for him to continue his legacy.
Now to the video you saw first on the CBS DFW social media channels. A violent crash overnight as a Ferrari flipped on a Dallas street. In that car was Errol Spence Jr. He's the boxing champion from DeSoto.
Right? So he made it through for that. And then he had this eye injury. The eye injury was right before him fighting Pac-Man Pacquiao. Pac-Man at the time is a living legend. He didn't retire yet. He didn't make it to 40 yet. And who ended up taking that fight was Keith one-time Thurman, who got decimated in that fight. And so it looked like Pac-Man was going to be the biggest challenge for Errol Spence Jr. But because he had that injury and then Pac-Man ended up retiring at some point, that fight ended up falling through. But he had that accident, he had the eye injury, and then when he given this interview talking about, his mental state of people seeing him vulnerable, the accident, and then talking about boxing conditioning in itself, he said it's very hard to get in weight and it's taking a toll on him. And so now he got this fight, this biggest fight of his career, against this mythical living legend creature that's right in front of him, of Terrence Crawford. It's like, to me, I feel like if he powers through and beats Terrence Crawford, he's the greatest boxer, like a Hall of Famer. He's the greatest boxer on the planet. The greatest boxer on the planet living today. And if he I guess both of them, anybody who wins this fight could both go up to 154. However this looks, it's a mega fight. But I'll tell you this, to me, in my view, like, I really am nervous for Errol Spence Jr. As I said though, his mental fortitude to persist and even take the fight shows the measure of a man that he is. And there's a lot of people who have felt the devastation of Terrence Crawford. But now this is just a mega fight. And on this channel we do talk TV and movies, but this is something that's in between that I just needed to get my thoughts out. And this video is a very niched video anyway, that I just wanted to talk specifically to my friends at The Paradigm Shift and the whole fucking show. The whole effing show. And also Geb T'Challa as well. Pardon this interruption. Yes, I shaved my beard. Please don't make it a thing. Alright, now that we got that out the way, we acknowledge it. It's here. This is me for the time being. But I want to give a shout out to one of our commenters from the last video, and that is Mr. Degenerate 942. So when you comment, we want to give you a shout out, or I'll give you a shout out, or we'll make that work. But make sure that you comment and subscribe, and you'll be able to have that opportunity in the next video. Back to your regular scheduled programming. Peace. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts about Errol Spence Jr. Let me know your thoughts about boxing, period. Are you paying attention to it? Are you looking forward to the fight? Yeah, with that being said, I'm gonna bring this video to an end, and I want you to be you, do you, see the bigger picture. Have a fantastic day, because you deserve it. This is that channel. Peace.
Mouth on top, kung fu, Bruce Lee chop, moon rocks, go Red Sox, tryna go far like Boondocks, headshot, blunt stay high, talking shit, gotta pull up on they block, you